Hello, boys and girls, this is Dr. D here. We're going to talk about Hanukkah. This year, Hanukkah will be December 10th to December 18th. It is a holiday that's celebrated by Jewish people. I want to give you a little bit of the background so that you understand what we're doing. About 2,200 years ago, there was a war between the Greeks and the Jews. And a group of Jewish people called the Maccabees revolted against the Greeks, and they were able to liberate Jerusalem. They had felt that the temple had been defiled because the Greeks had been adoring Zeus. So they had to relight the menorah, which you see here. The menorah is a candelabra with 4 candles on one side, 4 candles on the other, and a shamus in the middle. Now, they only had enough olive oil to keep the menorah lit for one day. But the miracle is that the menorah stayed lit for 8 days. And so that miracle, that event, is celebrated every year sometime between late November and late December. There are a couple of items involved in Hanukkah. The dreidel is one, which is spinning top. Latkes is a special food that's served. It's a potato pancake with sour cream, or you can also have it with applesauce. But probably the most important symbol is the menorah, which is lit by the family every night. On the first night of Hanukkah, only the shamus is lit, and then you go to the far right. On the second night of Hanukkah, you would light the shamus, then the right candle and the left candle. And there are prayers said and songs sung. At the very end of Hanukkah, the families exchange small presents. Some families do presents every night rather. Some families maybe just once or twice. So the menorah is essential to the celebration of Hanukkah, along with the prayers and songs. So today we're going to talk about different ways to make the menorah. Boys and girls, in honor of Hanukkah, December 10th, I'm going to offer you a variety of ways to make a menorah, which is a very important symbol in Hanukkah. Here is a menorah that a very good friend of mine let me borrow. So you notice, again, the Star of David. You notice that there are 4 candles on either side, and in the middle, the shamus. Now, these are different ways that my children made menorahs when they were younger. The menorah was outlined, and then they cut out construction paper, filled in the candles, put in flames, and used a little glitter. If you use glitter, make sure, for your family's sake, that you have newspaper around so that it doesn't get all over. So this is one way to make a menorah. This one's a very fun way. You can take 4 of your fingers and set them out right and left, and a candle in the middle, some straight lines. You put your flames in, and in this case, they use glitter again. You certainly don't have to. You could use orange crayon, you could use paint. You might get creative and use some kind of pasta or rice, but this is an easy way of doing it using 4 fingers from each hand. This one is a little more complicated and would require some tissue paper. You would cut out the menorah and then fill in the parts that are opened with tissue paper or construction paper. And then you could create your flames. You can also put holes on either side and use yarn to hang it up. Now, today I'm going to show you a menorah that I made that I will tell you does take some time. And it might take a couple of weeks for you to get the supplies you need. We're going to start out with my famous toothbrush and glue on a paper plate, a piece of white paper for drawing the flames, crayons, pencils, scissors. But this is the part that you have to plan for. You have to organize and find and keep toilet paper rolls. In this case, 8 of them. And then also a paper towel roll, which I ended up cutting. The one that I used, I cut to make it shorter because it was just too much out of proportion with the other candles. So I'm going to show you how I began this project. And as I said, it does take more time than some of the other things we've done. You want to secure your toilet paper rolls at the top with a piece of Scotch tape. I tried glue. I didn't think it worked very well. I think Scotch tape is easier. And then you connect it at the bottom as well. So you do this with 4 of them on one side and 4 on the other side. Then once I have broken these up into 4s, so once I had 4 connected, then I put glue on the front of them and use some tissue paper. Tissue paper is really easy when it comes to gluing. And then on the back side, I used some wrapping paper. Then I created my flames. And I discovered that you have to tape them on both sides or they'll flop. Now for this one, as I told you, I shortened it so that it would be more in proportion. And I use a little more wrapping paper and a little bit of tissue. All right, and again, same method for this side. I put the 4 together, then I did tissue paper and the flames. Now, I'm going to show you how to do the flame. So since it's a taller candle, we're going to have a taller flame, a bigger flame. So there's my flame. And I'm going to make it a little bit of a different color than the other ones to make it stand out more. This is the flame for the shamus, which is the candle you always light first and use that candle to light the other candles. And I always like to add layers of color, so I'm going to take this apricot and put it over the top of the orange. Okay, then cut it out. And we want it to be colored on both sides. There's a little bit more of my apricot. Okay, now, as you noticed also, my middle candle, the shamus, is not connected to the 4. I could do that, but I found it easier to just put them together than to try to connect them. But you may choose to connect them if you'd like, either with Scotch tape or with glue. So, as I discovered earlier this week, you need to attach the flame on both sides. So, I'm going to attach it here, put the tape at the end on this side. I want to get it straight. Okay. And then, to prevent it from flopping, I put it on the back as well. So there is my menorah. And again, you have to allow time for this project. And of course, you have to collect the toilet paper rolls. But it's a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing your artwork. Please send me photos of your menorah, whichever menorah you choose to make. And I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I will see you in a couple of weeks. This is Dr. D. Thank you.